And here we go. Day one journey, episode 847. 847, day one journey. Today I want to answer my friend's question. How do you know if your partner is committed? Imagine yourself in a relationship. You can think about a romantic relationship, and you have a partner, maybe a life partner. And you ask yourself, sometimes we have these doubts. Do they love us? Do they actually want to stay with us in this relationship? And sometimes we ask this question. Are they committed? Are they committed to this relationship as much as we want? Are they willing to put in the effort and energy and time and attention into the relationship as much as I want? How do you know? Well, I guess you can ask them, but that wouldn't be my suggestion or advice to my friend. Just ask them, are you committed? Because commitment is not about words. Commitment is about doing, executing, showing. And usually when I think about that, I'm thinking about the definition of love, my definition of love, or how I choose to see love. For me, and I shared it before here in Day One Journey, for me, love the feeling is the fruit of love the verb. And now I will answer this question using this definition of love. So how do you know if your partner is committed? How do you know if your partner is willing to put the energy and time into the relationship as much as you want, assuming you are committed? Well, let's say it's in the middle of the relationship and things are not going very well. And you're not sure and you have doubts, and now you want to know if your partner is committed. This is not the beginning of the relationship. For right now, for this conversation that we have, it's in the middle of a relationship. And you're not sure and you want to know if your partner is committed or not. So first I would look at things that they do, yeah? I would look at love the verb. Do they love me? Love the verb. Do they do things for me? Do they go out of their way for me? This is one thing that I would ask myself. But even if it's not the case, maybe we have separated a little bit. Maybe there's a distance. Maybe there's a problem. Maybe there's a big challenge there. So this is what I would suggest. Of course, everything starts with a conversation. But organizing this conversation or even strategizing this conversation can take even months. Because if you want, and this is my opinion, yes, if you want to actually have a genuine, honest, open conversation with your life partner, given that you are struggling, there's a challenge, and the love, the feeling is not there anymore, or if this is the case, of course, the beginning of the solution or the process is a conversation. But a conversation such that both of you have energy, time, not stressed. And sometimes it's very hard to arrange such a meeting or conversation. And it might take even months. Because you maybe have kids and you need to put the kids at the grandparents, let's say, and you need to have time and you need to be not at work and then not at work, but you organize this conversation. And what do you say in this conversation? I would always say to myself, lead by example. So we can ask them, are you committed? Do you love me? I wouldn't ask these questions. I would say something like this. And I remind you, this is a conversation that might take you months to actually have. So you create this conversation, you create the context and the stage such that they don't feel any blame or there's a problem or they are the problem. There's no guilt and blame there. The only thing that I would do in this conversation is to say this. I want to make this relationship that I have with you is important to me. Very important to me. You are my life partner. I want to spend the rest of my life with you. And I want to take it to the next level. I want to do more of the things that you like, that shows you that I love you. How can I show love to you? Love, the verb, what I can do for you. And I would wait. I would give them time to think, because they might need to think, because this is big time. So maybe you need to have a conversation a week after, or give it a few hours and talk about it again. This is a process. It depends who's the person in front of you. But you say, I would say, I want to take this relationship to the next level. I want it to be better. What can I do? And you end with that. You just ask them what you can do. Lead by example. You don't just ask them to do the things that you want, not yet. So you do that. Let's say they give you some things that they would be very excited if you do for them, to show your love to them. So you do these things. You give it time. How much time? As long as it takes. I don't have an answer to this question, how much. You give. You do stuff. You show them your love. And then you wait. You wait. And you give them the opportunity to ask you. They need to come to you and ask. You can just tell them, I want this, I don't think that would work. You give them the time to ask you, how can they show love to you? And then you share. And then you give them time to actually show you the love. Do things for you. You give them the time. And again, it can take months, years, I don't know, weeks. And then, if they don't do anything about it, they might be not committed as you are. And then, of course, you can have another conversation. You repeat the same process, similar process. And then you make your own decisions. For me, my first commitment is to myself. And with my life partner, I want her first commitment to be herself, for herself. I don't want her to be with me because of me. I want her to be with me because she wants to be with me. So I want her to be committed to herself first, not me. So I see my marriage to my life partner as my second marriage. My first marriage was to myself. And on the same note, because my first marriage, my first commitment is to myself, if I do whatever I just shared with you, I have this conversation, I do things for them, I listen, I do the things that show them my love. And I give the time, I give them the time, and maybe they ask me what I want, maybe they don't even ask. It's not a good sign. I remember my first commitment is to myself. And then I will make decisions, whether to stay, give it a chance, or say that's it. Sometimes I have a friend, she made this decision. No more. She made a decision, a brave decision, that she has higher standards. She did what she could. She done her best. And guess what? Sometimes you do your best and you don't get much. You can't force the other person to be committed. But you can give them the opportunity by setting an example, leading by example. This is what I would do in this case. So how do I know if your partner is committed? You show your commitment. You arrange this conversation, you listen to them, you try to give them the love that they want. It's different between different people. Some people want the space, some other people want the attention. It's not the same. You listen to them, you understand what love they want to receive. You do it. Love the verb. You show them your love, your commitment. And then you wait. You need to see what they are doing. And then make your own decisions about your life. My advice to myself, be committed to myself first. This is my advice to my closest friends and other people. Because at the end of your life, the person, at least as I think, the person that you will need to give answers to is the person you look at in the mirror every single morning. You better be true to them. Be true to you. Be true to yourself. Be committed to yourself. Do what's best for you. Have a good day. Day 1. See you tomorrow.